We start our journey from China's Kabuki Desert, a place people once didn't just call a desert. They called it the Sea of Death, because living here meant slowly disappearing. Every year, around 500,000 acres of land were quietly buried under sand. Fertile land turned into desert right in front of people's eyes. Trees dried up, and people were forced to leave their homes. Everywhere there were waves of sand, hot burning winds, and a deep silence that showed life was losing its fight. But the scariest thing was the desert didn't stop. It kept spreading. Every year, more land disappeared under sand. Villages, farmland, roads, everything slowly faded away. This process is called desertification, which means land that once had life slowly becomes desert. And Kabuki was one of the biggest examples of this. At one point, the desert was spreading so fast it seemed impossible to stop. But China didn't give up. They tried again and again, planting trees, building sand control stations, starting big projects, and investing a lot of money. Still, nothing worked. It felt like they were slowly losing the fight. Deserts have a dangerous nature. Once they start growing, they are very hard to stop. At that time, one man came forward with an idea that made everyone laugh. His name was Wang Wenbiao. He started doing something unusual. He spent all his savings, took loans, and began what looked like madness. He brought over 100 bulldozers and 300 workers. They worked up to 18 hours a day. They made small square patterns on the sand using dry bushes. Inside those squares, they planted willow trees. These are not ordinary trees. Their roots could go deep into the ground, almost 300 feet, to find water. That means they could survive where other trees couldn't. But the problem didn't end there. The strong desert wind made it hard for the trees to survive. The wind blew away sand and dried up the little moisture in the soil. So the trees often died before they could grow. So Wang used another method. He surrounded the plants with bushes to block the wind and keep moisture inside. This small idea slowly started a big change. People still laughed at him. They said he was crazy, planting trees in a desert. But he didn't stop. Not for a day or two. He kept working for years. Slowly, some trees survived. Their roots went deeper. The sand started to slow down. It felt like the impossible was slowly becoming possible. But then another big problem appeared. To keep the trees alive, they needed regular care. The new branches had to be cut, or the trees wouldn't grow strong. But doing this in such a huge desert was almost impossible. It would cost too much money and take too much time. So the question was, who would do this work? And this is where the story takes a surprising turn. A small animal stepped in, the Rex rabbit. A special type of rabbit called Rex rabbit was brought in. These rabbits are known as white gold because their fur is very soft and valuable. One rabbit's fur can sell for about $30, while raising it costs only about $2. But that's not the main story. The real story is in their habit. Rex rabbits love to eat the soft, new branches of willow trees. When they eat these branches, the trees grow stronger and thicker. So the work humans had to do, cutting branches, was now being done naturally by rabbits. And that's not all. Their waste became a powerful natural fertilizer. Slowly, the dry and lifeless soil started coming back to life. There was another surprise. The rabbits ate grass, but they couldn't fully digest the seeds. So the seeds returned to the soil through them. After some time, grass started growing where there was once only sand. A natural cycle began. Nature and animals started working together. The sand slowed down. The soil held moisture again. The wind couldn't blow sand like before. Within a few years, the dead desert started turning green. And the change didn't stop in nature. It changed people's lives too. Local people were encouraged to raise rabbits. Homes turned into small farms. People started earning money from rabbit fur and from plants. People who once left the desert started coming back. Over the years, a large part of the Kabuki Desert became green. The place once called the Sea of Death became full of life again. But Wang didn't stop there. He built a huge solar power plant in the desert. It has 196,000 panels shaped like a running horse. This plant produces about 2.3 billion kilowatt hours of electricity every year, enough for around 400,000 people. But there's another twist. These panels don't just produce electricity, they also reduce wind speed by 50%. They create shade, and under that shade, grass grows again. That grass feeds rabbits, sheep, and ducks. A new ecosystem is created where technology and nature work together. Today, this model is not just in China. Countries in Spain, Africa, and the Middle East are also following it. And the biggest lesson from this story? No matter how much people laugh at you, stay focused on your goal. Don't give up your dream because of others. Because every successful person in history was once laughed at. Now, the choice is yours.